Hello and welcome. Yes, it's me, Winter Woolley, and I wanted to bring your attention to, you've probably seen it already, but it's worth commenting on the current sparkle of Tom Cruise material that's going about. There was a teaser thing happening the other day in South Africa, and your man was skydiving to promote and thank everybody for their love of Top Gun Maverick, which I believe is coming out on Paramount Channel very soon, and that's why he was doing what he was doing. He's Tom Cruise, right? And things have happened whereby it's okay for Tom Cruise to do this. It's a very, very, very peculiar situation. He is an A-list actor. Some would say he is the A-list actor. And yet, he is still allowed to do stuff that other A-list actors wouldn't be allowed to touch with a barge pole. And for good reason. They have no need to go anywhere near a skydiving sequence that involves actual skydiving, even if they skydive, you know. I'm reminded of Point Break back in the early 90s, mid 90s, and Keanu skydived. Patrick Swayze did a bit of it, and they were allowed under certain contract circumstances to do bits and pieces for the movie. But you know, there are moments where you have to say to yourself, this just shouldn't be happening. If Tom Cruise owns 5,000 airplanes, has licenses for pretty much everything, can drive motorcycles at ludicrous speeds. We have discussed in the past, in connection with his motorcycle riding in Mission Impossible, that a lot of it was very much cultivated by special effects, stunt rigging and CGI, particularly that Paris sequence. Is it Fallout, the Paris sequence where he's riding the motorcycle against oncoming CGI traffic, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on there which makes it relatively safe. He's still travelling at 70, 90, 150 miles an hour, but he's doing it in closed streets where vehicles are put in afterwards. So, that's not as bad as actually going against the flow of traffic. And in the other motorcycle sequence that we may well look at towards the end of this year, again, he's in a rig. He's not always doing all of it. He's in a physical rig which is holding the motorcycle, allowing him to move from side to side while action takes place behind. This sequence, and again, he's promoing, so this is an actual take that they're going for. The director says, look, we've got to get this shot. We need to get this shot. We've got to get it done. He says, fine, don't worry. And he steps out onto the side of the helicopter and falls backwards. Falls backwards, you can see it's very clearly him. And then he starts acting. And this is very interesting, because he's a professional speed junkie. I mean, he clearly really needs that adrenaline rush and loves it when he has it, but is able to click back at the drop of a hat into character, or indeed back to an allotted script. So he's falling at 170, 200 miles an hour. And then he says, oh, where was I? Oh, yes. And starts delivering dialogue into the camera. Obviously, there's a camera guy out of shot. He's the guy holding it as he falls with him. Does a bit of acting. Says the line, can't see you at the movies or whatever the deal is, and then spins off into the distance and then does the rest of the sequence. And I just don't think, God love the fella, right? There's people there are stunt professionals the world over, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. They've all seen it, and they're all going, Jesus, this guy's big balls. This guy has balls you wouldn't believe. Solid gold. This guy is solid. And he is. I'm not going to dispute it. The bloke is gold dust. But I don't believe that he should be doing what he's doing because it's dangerous. What he does outside of the film business, if he skydives as a hobby, as a pastime when he's not filming, fill your boots, dude. Insurance companies, again, if they want to insure him for that, super. If he wants to fly F1 Tomcats when he's not filming, go ahead and fill your boots. It's not a problem. If he wants to fly helicopters, super. If it calls for him to be flying helicopters, flying planes, leaping out of aircraft, skydiving on the picture, on a movie, he shouldn't be doing it, in my opinion. Now, many of you will be going, but he's the star of the movie. He's Tom Cruise, and he's the producer, and that's the point. He is the producer, he is the star of the movie, and that's why when somebody says to him, Tom, I don't think you should be doing this. We've got a wonderful crack team of stunt performers. We've got the world's best skydivers. They're going to work it all out, and we'll do the close-ups with you. With the CGI we've got now, you know yourself it's the best in the world. We can do this. We can put you anywhere. We can give the impression that you are actually doing what you're doing without you having to do it. And he says, no, I'm going to do it myself. Now, even Wade Eastwood, Wade Eastwood is the stunt coordinator on these Mission Impossible films. And even Wade, if he were to go to Tom and go, no, Tom, you don't understand. This is not something you need to do. I don't believe that Tom will go, do you know what? You're right. I'll sit this one out, and I'll let Casey O'Neill do it, or I'll let the skydiving team do it. I don't need to do this. He's going to do it, regardless, because for him, as the producer of that film, he believes that makes the scene better, and he's probably right. But there is a massive risk involved in doing that, and doing it on screen, and doing it at full speed, and doing it over and over and over again. How many times did he ride that motorcycle off the cliff and skydive down? 6. There, look, 6. 6 times. Didn't need to do it 6 times. The director looked at it. The director looked after the first one and said, wow, we've got it. That's absolutely spectacular. And Tom says, I reckon I could just keep the nose of the bike up just a touch more and then go again. And he goes 5 more times. I don't think it needs to be done. I genuinely don't think it needs to be done. I also, and again, this has, for me, a detrimental effect on the way that action cinema is looked at. He's not a Jackie Chan. He's not a Sammo Hung. He's not one of those actors who has relied on their own metal the entire length of their career to create a situation for themselves where they are classed as some of the best in the world. Do you see what I mean? Jackie Chan gets in a situation on a movie that has to be Jackie jumping from that bus through that window, from the top of that building down to the ground, hitting those 2 guys on the way out and landing on that vehicle onto the road. It has to be him, because the audience will not accept that it's not him. Tom Cruise, his career has been made up of him being the star and being the action hero, but those sequences have been very cleverly worked with the stunt professionals, with the stunt guys. And nobody has questioned it until he starts to do the Mission Impossible pictures, and not even at first. There's many sequences in the Mission Impossible picture which it's not him in the first one and the second one. But from then on, he's given a much bigger role and starts to develop situations for his character and the scenes in which he's in. Now, the sequence that is being referred to at the moment as the biggest, as the greatest, the motorbike skiing off the cliff and him parachuting, it's been done before. It's been done before on the Bond movie GoldenEye. Pierce Brosnan's first entry as James Bond, the pre-title sequence, the end of the pre-title sequence is Bond going off the cliff after the plane on a motorcycle. The stuntman is Zoot Malnui, Jacques Zoot Malnui. He goes off, he skydives down. There is then a cut, and B.J. Worth takes over and does the skydive and gets right next close to the plane before it cuts to a studio shot of Pierce getting inside the aircraft. It's been done. Here, he is obviously just getting away from something. I don't know what he's getting away from. I haven't seen the film. But the basis is that he's getting away from something, and he motorcycles off and free fall and open canopy and down to the ground. But the reason it's been given this extraordinary hype at the present time is because he is doing it himself. The actor, the producer of the film, is performing the stunt itself. And it's been given different status, and I don't believe it should be. Because if that was a stunt performer, if that was a professional skydiver, not the actor, but a professional skydiver who was employed to ride that motorcycle at 60, 70 miles an hour off the end of the ramp and skydive, we might see a few photographs of it. We may see something online. We may see something in a daily or a tabloid. That'd be it. There'd be an entertainment banner headline that goes, "Wow, Nathan Hunt does it. Ethan Hunt does it again. Mission not impossible." All these different little things going on. And that would be the end of it. They'd have a little thing about filming was, etc., this day, Norway, blah, 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 boom. And they'd move on. But here, it is him doing it. And the reason that he gets into this situation and starts to do it, and all of a sudden it becomes much bigger than anything else that's gone before. These situations, we even see, I'm flitting backwards and forwards, but I'm just reminding myself of things that I've seen. In the testing for this jump, he is doing testing. He is doing it. Normally there would be, and maybe we don't see that. Maybe there is testing being done. Maybe people can confirm this if that's the case. But normally there would be testing taking place with stunt performers, with skydivers, and they would be saying, right, I need to see how far I can get out before I have to open the canopy. But all that appears to have been taken away, and he's saying, no, I've got to do it. He then has to do the testing with the cables on his back to see how far he can get out before he gets to open the canopy. Now, remember the occasion when he broke his ankle? That was tested before with a stuntman. His stunt double would do the jump from one building to the other. He then was able to watch that back and say, I see, yeah, I need to be really running at this point, and then I need to jump and land and carry on. Super. And then he jumped. He broke his ankle. The production was done for a little while. They're injuries that don't have to happen. And I am concerned that there will come a time when he will actually kill himself. It's a terrible thing to say, but I don't believe it needs to happen. And there is going to come a time when, over a period of time, maybe just a moment of complacency, and you take your eye off the ball for a second and it's game over. And then there will be huge amounts of press investigation, and then there will be backlash on the producers, the directors, the other producers, the directors, the stunt professionals who are supposed to be looking after him, the safety team. Producer of the movie, it's his decision. They may even have documentation to say, yep, he signed off on this. Well, that'll stop an awful lot of other actors saying that they want to do the similar sort of thing. Throw a stick, you'll hit half a dozen actors who will not in a million years want to go anywhere near any of that, because it's not their thing. But because he's doing it, he's pushing the boundaries, he's pushing the envelope, he's raising the bar. And over time there will be expectations where these guys will need to go faster, they'll need to go further, they'll need to fall higher. I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem that needs addressing. I would love to be in a situation to sit down with Tom Cruise and just go through the whole thing and say, why? Why? Because you can is not the point. I don't think it's just as simple as that. I don't think it's as simple as, why do you jump off things? Because I can. There are professionals the world over who do that because that's what they want to do. And if they want to do that outside of the film business, super. If it is beneficial to them for the business, fabulous. But when they're on set, it's very dodgy indeed. So anyway, I just wanted to run that by you because I've seen a great deal of bits and pieces and stuff over Twitter over the last few days and over Instagram, and I was interested to find out your thoughts on the whole thing. So comment below, please, if you will. There'll be another video or so arriving again during the course of this Christmas period. Little Jack Cooper thing, look out for that. That's coming too. There's also something about John Wick 2 as well. That'll be quite nice. So keep an eye out and carry on with your festivities, and I'll see you very soon. All right, take care.